Welcome to Summary of the Week, your quick guide to the top headlines. Today is Saturday, May 10th. Let's take a look at some of the news that shaped this week. Julie Davis, the new top U.S. diplomat to Ukraine, arrived in Kyiv on Monday. Davis's arrival comes amid signs of improving ties between the two countries. The week prior, Ukraine and the U.S. signed a landmark minerals deal. The White House greenlit the sale of $50 million in arms to Ukraine, and the U.S. approved a long-stalled F-16 maintenance deal for Ukraine. On Tuesday in Germany, conservative leader Friedrich Merz was elected chancellor after winning a nail-biting second-round parliamentary vote. Merz will lead a pro-Ukraine coalition between his center-right CDU-CSU alliance and the center-left Social Democrats. Outgoing Chancellor Olaf Scholz made a final call to President Zelensky, assuring continued German support for Ukraine. "We sincerely hope that Germany will grow even stronger and that we'll see more German leadership in European and transatlantic affairs," President Zelensky said in a social media post. Also on Tuesday, Ukraine and Russia completed another major prisoner swap. 205 Ukrainian soldiers were freed from Russian captivity in exchange for 246 Russians. Many of the released servicemen had fought in Mariupol and defended regions like Donetsk, Kherson, Zaporizhia, and Luhansk. Among those freed, the oldest was 61 and the youngest 20 years old. Tears of relief marked many reunions, and a quieter grief lingered among those still searching. Around 1 a.m. Wednesday morning, many Kyiv residents awoke to the sounds of a Russian missile and drone attack. At least 3 districts were hit by falling debris from downed drones, and a mother and son were killed, Ukrainian emergency services reported. Around the same time, Ukraine attacked Russia with a wave of long-range drones and crippled major Russian airports, delaying or grounding more than 500 flights. Several arms development hubs and military air bases were reportedly also hit, including military sites in Saransk and Tula. On Thursday, Ukraine's parliament, the Verkhovna Rada, ratified a major minerals agreement with the U.S. There were 338 votes in favor of the deal, well over the 226 needed for it to pass. Under the agreement, Ukraine and the U.S. will create an investment fund to develop Ukrainian resources, which range from fossil fuels to rare earth metals. Profits from investments will be split 50-50. Kyiv's expressed hope that the minerals deal will create a more harmonious relationship with its American partners. News came out that British volunteer and D-miner Chris "Swampy" Garrett was killed by a Russian IED in the Kharkiv region, with both Garrett and another individual succumbing to their wounds. Garrett had served in the Ukrainian Armed Forces since 2014 and had co-founded the NGO Prevail Together, which worked across Ukraine on explosive ordnance disposal, medical assistance, and humanitarian aid. Thursday evening, the Catholic Church elected Cardinal Robert Prevost as the Catholic Church's 267th pontiff and the first ever American pope. He was selected by the papal conclave to be the new Pope Leo XIV. The new pope pledged to continue the legacy of his predecessor, Pope Francis, who died in April. Pope Francis had consistently called for a full prisoner swap between Kyiv and Moscow. President Zelensky congratulated the new pope and said on X, "We hope for the continued moral and spiritual support of the Vatican." On Friday, Moscow held a Victory Day parade marking the 80th anniversary of the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany. The leaders of several countries, including China's Xi Jinping and Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro, attended. In a speech, Putin echoed his long-standing claim that Russian troops in Ukraine were continuing the World War II fight against fascism. President Zelensky also marked the anniversary of the defeat of Nazism in 1945, drawing a direct parallel between World War II and Ukraine's current struggle, and warning the West of the dire consequences of appeasing Moscow. Hungarian military intelligence ran a spy ring in western Ukraine to assess support for a potential Hungarian troop presence, Ukraine's security service, the SBU, reported Friday. 2 Ukrainian citizens, including a former soldier, were arrested for spying on Ukrainian military sites and trying to expand Hungary's agent network. It's the first such case involving a NATO country. The suspects face treason charges. Hungary's government dismissed the claims as propaganda, but did not deny them outright. Thanks for watching this week's Summary of the Week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay informed.